Hello geeks out there, I am Semaphores and you are in Everyday Normal Greek channel. Today with you with another video of Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, the game, the city building game we are playing for quite a few episodes now, and it's like our ultimate target is to build and grow the ultimate socialist communist paradise in our computers. But for today, guys, this episode is quite different and probably there will be a series of some tutorials. I had told you that I was intending to do some tutorials and I find this as a perfect opportunity to make them, and I feel that it's really needed in this game where this game is built in its own engine, 3D engine. It is how you would expect it to be from a city building game, but it has some differences. There are stuff that people want to know, new people want to know about the game, and what better opportunity to talk to them, talk about those stuff with you guys in some tutorial series. And of course, this episode is going to be about the number one question, the number one difficulty, I guess, that I see players face, and I also faced when I first started playing the games. How to build rails. So our episode today has to do about rails and trains. I have started in a new map. I had just set up my funds to be unlimited. And we are going to focus on building rails. Just a small parenthesis in this point, all I'm going to show you is coming from the hours I have played this game. So it's a combination of my experience. Plus, there are some really explanatory blog posts in the Steam of this game, which are actually coming from the development team of the game. So it's as official as it can get. And there they explain some things as well, but they are explained with pictures. It's like you have to read and stuff. I figured out that it would be probably better to make a video about those, like about the mechanics of the rails and the trains in this game. By the way, the trains are amazing. They're like picture perfect. It's really beautiful to have this like Soviet network of trains running around the country. They're really beautiful trains, actual model of real trains and stuff. So let's not lose any more time. We're going to start together, build this network, and we're going to see how much time this tutorial is going to take, because I don't promise that it will be short and compact. There are quite a lot of stuff around rails, I mean, if you want to build them nicely. And I intend to show as much as I can. So be patient, follow up the tutorial, and of course, if you like it, hit the like button after the end of this video. And also, if you think that I didn't cover anything, like, please write me in the comments under the video what you think you would prefer to see, or what else and extra you wanted to see regarding this tutorial, or maybe even other parts and mechanics of the game. So we're starting. Okay, so I generated this map with the cities as it is, and what I will try to do is, let's say we want to build a network with the cities we already have in the map. We don't care. We see, let's say here is the capital, Lestio, okay, and we want to build a rail network. It will be like just test, it's test, of course. Okay, we don't care about economy, we don't care about funds. I hope that we will be able to track what we spend through here, through this a board of expenses, so we can see in the end how much it costs us and stuff. Okay, so the first thing you do when you want to build a rail network, okay, it's to build the train depot. The train depot is the place, same as the road depot for the road vehicles that you're building. The trains are stored there and the trains are coming from there. So you have to find just a nice flat space with an area that you build your train depot. Train depot is just the connection and the, let's say, the parking, the storage space for your trains. So in this case, like, okay, let's say my target is I want to connect Leschi, I don't know. It has a lot of ways to pronounce this. And I want it to connect, let's say, with a nearby village. Okay, it will combine a lot of stuff. Let's say if we connect to this village here, okay. So we will start with a train depot. The first and foremost, this will give us access to all trains. So let's fight some flatland. Let's create a bit of flatland maybe here. This will give us some trouble, maybe. Okay, we plopped it down. Auto build, of course, okay. And let's fast forward a bit so we can have it. And here it is, guys. This is our depot being built, and that's it. Now we have access in buying as much trains as we want. So I have everything unlocked of the train vehicles. As you can see here, for now, there is like, for dollars, it's just two type of cargo. No, one type of cargo is about cement, and the other is a diesel locomotive. And that's it, you know, like, but for rubles, we have everything we want. Okay, so we're going to start with, let's say, before choosing locomotives, we're going to start with real basic. Like for trains, you need rail tracks, okay. And as you can see here, we have three types of rail tracks: the wood-based railway, the concrete-based railway, and the electrified railway. So what are the differences between those three? Between the first and the other two is the speed. So the wood-based railway, it will have a speed of maximum 70 kilometers, and that's it. The concrete one has a speed of 150, and the electrified as well 150. And between the electrified and the concrete one, the difference is that, of course, the electrified can support electric trains on it. So between those two, there is no real difference. It's just this is really costly to build, and also holds electric train. So allow me to fix a bit the ground here, to raise the ground so we are able to build outside our depot. Still makes it a bit difficult, okay. So you see, yes, for this area here, I would pay 1,700 rubles just for the concrete one, and for around the same distance of electrified it will be like almost 3,000. So it's a bit more expensive. Okay, so now that we have the depot, okay, we will need, let's say, to connect, let's suppose that this area here and this area here, they want to transport some cargo, okay. So let's say Lech is producing something and from a factory, and there's another factory here that we want to produce, like, to deliver this cargo. Okay, I'm not going to lose any time now to build the factories and everything. Maybe if you want to see how this actually works and this transport of the goods, you can just click on any episode I have on the main series of Workers on Resource Soviet Republic. We already have like 5 episodes there, so you can see I have already set up some basic train lines, like transporting and exporting goods from what I produce. So if you're like really want to see it, go check out my videos there and see how this is made. But for now, we just want to build the platform. So I will just make a simple cargo train station, okay? So we'll need a cargo train station in this area here, let's say, to serve this little village. Let's try to build it like that. And also we'll need a train cargo station, let's say from the supposedly like area here, okay. So now we have 2 stations and we can connect them with rails. So what kind of rails we're going to choose depends on a lot of factors. It's a combination of cost, what trains you want to buy, and what you want to do. But for the sake of this tutorial, let's see that we would build like the simple concrete based railways. Okay, so this would start from our depot here. By the way, depot can support maximum 3 connections. Okay, maybe I need to terraform a bit again, just a bit, to make things more smooth around the station here, so I will be able to build the lines. Okay, so yeah, I think, okay, almost. Yep, like that. Where is the station is here. So let's build the simple line till the station there. And now we have connected the depot to our station. So technically now our trains can run from the depot here to our station, and then if we connect with the other station, it will just take, let's say, goods from here and we'll just deliver to this other area, which is somewhere over there. But not so fast, guys. Okay, because like in this game, when you're playing with the, let's say, maximum difficulty, then you have this energy management, and this energy management applied to vehicles and road vehicles and rail vehicles, trains. So if you go to the infrastructure tab and the railways tab, then you will see that there is this here train diesel station is called, this building here. So what is this? Is like a main supplier of fuel for our trains. Okay, so here our trains are refueling, because if they run out of fuel they cannot move. So what we're going to do is really build a really basic setup here. Okay, the most basic setup you can do for this is just, where is your depot? Like, I'm just going to create an empty space here. I'm going to put probably my depot here. It still doesn't fit. Maybe around here, like this, so we don't move any ground. And then we're going to connect these two areas. So now if my trains need to be refueled on their way from the depot, or if they are somewhere in the station, they can always run back here. And how this will happen is that wherever is a train and it reaches a certain amount of really low fuel, then it will abandon every task it has, and then it will start going back to the nearest refueling station. It's the same as with the road vehicles, it's the same with the rails. So it needs really careful management where you place those, because you can end up in really awkward situations. Maybe we will see some further down this tutorial. So okay, so now we have this. As you can see, it says that we need electricity for this. So one basic thing I didn't do before the beginning of this tutorial is, since we're using all these buildings and we will need it for sure maybe in the future for maybe electrified rails, we have to import some electricity. And anyway, in our case, this electricity will just come out down from the border. So let me really fast plop down some electricity lines till Leschi, till the capital. I don't want to pronounce it a lot because I really don't know if I'm doing the correct pronunciation for it. So here I see it here, let's say it can come till here, and then we could just make a power transformer. Whatever, just random. Connect, then take some this building here, sweet spot. That's a sweet spot there. Let's say build this and just connect it to electricity from the transformer. Perfect, that was easy. And of course we have to go to the border and import this electricity. I guess so. I mean, if you go here, yes, import mode, and let's import max. Okay. Okay, let's go fast back. Here we are. Okay, guys. So this is a really basic setup. So we have our depot, we have the energy for those vehicles, and we have the train station here. Okay. So now let's go, let's say, and purchase a rail. A locomotive, let's say, a rail. So like let's say purchase a locomotive. Since we have like the concrete line, which is a simple one, we're going to choose something from diesel. So diesel locomotives, but you can see that there are like a lot of different types of vehicles. So there is a truck builder. These are actually used for construction and building trucks if you want to do it by yourself, but we're not going to focus on this tutorial in the building of trucks, in the like, let's say, manual building of them. And then there is like the diesel locomotives, which are like basically main engines, main locomotives of diesel to pull wagons. Then there is electric locomotives that they only work in electrified lines. Then it has some motor wagons. These wagons, they don't require any engine, let's say, up front. They're able to propel themselves and carry passengers as well. Really compact and, you know, fast way of transporting passengers. Then we have train sets, which are actually sets of trains, you see, that they are ready with engines and wagons and everything, but you cannot change, you know, wagons between them. A train set, just a train set, doesn't change. Then you have trams. I really don't find the usage of them right now. I don't see how they can be used right now in the game because you know, the game doesn't provide you any tram lines and special tram lines that say that you can pass through the streets. It's just these 3 types of lines and that's it. So I don't really see the usage of trams. Maybe they can be used as cheaper, maybe, and slower trains, but for now, like, I haven't found the need for them. Then we have passenger wagons that there are like cars that they can carry like passengers, and then the cargo wagons, which are cars that they can carry different kind of goods. So we have boxcar that can carry a lot of stuff, another boxcar, 3 types of boxcars. Okay, each one with its own like with their own like, let's say, capacities. Then these are like cement cars, refrigeration cars for meat, boxcar for livestock, so to export or to import livestock, hopper car for various like stones, like or ores, like coal and iron and everything, and asphalt, an open car for wood and boards and bricks and steel and everything for construction, another open car for the same stuff. Open wagons that they can carry, again, stuff for construction plus cars. So now that the cars are in the game, they can export import cars as well. And then some tankers to carry your oil and everything else. So you have everything you need. So let's build some really basic diesel cargo train. Okay, so because let's say in our hypothetical scenario we're wanting to transfer some cargo. So here in the engine we can see various types of locomotives. So depending on the speed, the power, and it's depending on the speed and the power, the price is like relevant. So the more expensive the locomotive, usually the rule is that it's more powerful and maybe with better like top speed. So, but you shouldn't only look at the top speed when you're building especially cargo trains, because like the power, engine power plays role on how many tons of cargo this car can carry easily, you know. So because like if you, let's say we take this engine here that has 115 kilometers per hour maximum speed, but engine power of 1250 kilowatts, if we just put like let's say, I don't know, 12 like cargo cars there to transport, I don't know, like 500 tons of goods, it will take ages to roll down and accelerate, you know. But if you take, let's say, this one that goes, it's just 5 kilometers more top speed, but it has like a lot more like kilowatts of power, this one will be much easier carry the cargo and accelerate with it. So it should be a wise choice, you know, when you're choosing between like balancing your money and taking the appropriate train for what you want to do. In our case, we don't care so much about it. We're just going to pick up a beautiful train like this, maybe from the Romanian DR class 119, or I don't know, like this one. No, okay, just this Romanian train. And let me check this. Yes, let me bring this here. Okay, and just put on it like just, I don't know, like just 2 boxcars, just simple as that. Okay, and then what you have to do is just with this type of vehicle, you just have to assign a route to him. It's the same like, let's say, that you would do with a bus. You just choose a new stop, assign, and then assign the other stop as well, and then you have an itinerary for it, and you see automatically load everything from that stop. You can say wait and load it, and yeah, and also unload everything to this stop here, which we can say, you know, wait also until unloaded or something like that. And then you can simply start the train, but of course there's no connection right now, so like let's try to build another concrete rail. And a really useful tool that we have in Rails, that Rails has in this game, is like bridges. So what you can actually do, bridges are not only to cross rivers like I'm going to do right now, but bridges can be used to make like junctions of rails where rails cross with each other, or like bypasses and everything. So you shouldn't always think about how to make this through land, but you can always have this alternative of making a bridge and solving your problems instantly. So like you go here, you just say build a railway bridge. So our bridge can start a bit further down. We don't want to place a semaphore, but we just want to build a few more here. As you can see, when we cross with the road and at the right angle, it automatically is going to create those like road junctions. If you're not at the right angle for the road, the game is not going to let you build. To sharp angle of railway crossing, here we can, but here again to sharp turn and to sharp angle. Okay, so let's build our bridge. So it's going to start from here. It's going to go, let's say, up till here. Then is going to reach this area here. And from this area is going to go down. And a small turn. And then from here we're going to continue with normal concrete line. Let's hope we're able to build this. It says that there is a uphill climb somewhere here. Oh, I see. Oh, I see there is an uphill climb. Maybe we should lower this a bit here to make it more smooth. I don't know if this will make it more smooth or it will destroy everything. Maybe we need a bit more lowering here, like this. No, it needs lowering further back, like here. No, again it's too sharp, or I don't know. Oh, but somehow I managed to build this. Sometimes it helps to do the opposite. Okay, no. So maybe I should delete this part. Okay, sometimes terraforming for a rail is necessary, same as with streets. But now we're doing like this, deleting some rails, try to flatten everything nicely. And make a smooth uphill actually. That doesn't seem so smooth. Maybe that will look somewhere smoother. Yeah, it goes. Yep. Okay, we make a smooth uphill now. So we connected the two stations, and now technically what we are going to do is we're just going to let the train roll. So we go back to our depot, we hit the train, start it, and that's it. Let's check on it. Train is going out. Beautiful train. It's going to stop here. Probably is going to refuel. As you can see, the level of fuel is really low, so for sure it's going to stop in the station. Yeah, okay. Going to refuel. You see the fuel gauge is going up. and then when it's full, it's going to leave and just go to proceed with its itinerary that we have set. So yeah, so you have a lot of like different types of vehicles in the game, and of like rail vehicles and engines and boxcars and everything. You can transport everything. And one main question that comes to mind when we're talking about cargo trains is like how we can combine, let's say, different types of boxcars, you know, like of like cargo cars to a train. So we don't need, let's say, 5 trains to transport 5 different goods, but we need, let's say, one train with a lot of like cargo cars to transport all the goods we produce. That's an actually really good idea to do, especially if you're really tight on budget and you're playing in like higher difficulties where the budget is really tight. But it has some limitations right now in the game, because you can see, let's say, this boxcar can carry like a number of different goods like crops, food, livestock, chemicals, fabrics, etc. So the thing is that if I make, let's say, a train that has like 10 of these boxcars, okay, and let's say I want to fill like 2 of these boxcars with crops, another 2 with food, another 2 with clothes, another 2 with plastics, and another 2 with alcohol. So 5 different products in 10 boxcars. This is not going to work, because when I'm building the train, the game perceives the boxcars that are connected, the cars that are connected to this train, as a unified space. So let's say if the train stops to the first station and takes crops, let's say, and say take like fill it to 20%, then maybe fill another 20% of food, fill another 20% of clothes, etc. It may work, but it will have some limitations. At some point maybe it will not be loading as you expect. Maybe it will not be loading 100%. So, and I think that if, let's say, in one boxcar it's already, you know, like has started like filling some kind of material, it cannot load anything else, so it moves to the next one. So you cannot really say that I will split this to 5 pieces, you know, or do something like that. What is a good idea though is to have a train that has like the appropriate rail cars, but for different type of goods. So for example, I want to combine a rail that will have, let's put another rail here, that will have one boxcar to carry, let's say, crops, another refrigerator to carry meat, a boxcar that will carry, let's say, wood, last one, a tanker that will carry bitumen and fuel. So if I check this train now, you see what I just expanded the list of stuff I can transport, and I'm pretty sure that, you know, if I first go to the agro farm and start loading crops, this is the only one that can carry crops, so this will be filled. Then if I will go to the meat factory to load the meat, only here. I will go to the log camp to load some wood here, and then go to my refinery to load fuel here. So I know that with this thing, with this type of setting, I can carry different type of goods without running the risk of mixing them, and of running the risk that my train goes, let's say, to the border like half full or something. So a train like this might work much better, at least from my experience, and how I prefer to do it is to have a train like this, and works like much better if I want with one engine, with one like rail engine, to carry a lot of different goods. But for now, let's not concentrate in this, and let's... Oh, I deleted the train. Really nice. Not a problem. I'm just going to delete this, and I'm just going to... we will need for sure a second cargo, so let's put these blue boxcars to separate it. Okay, so now we have a single line. Okay, if we let this train run now, we will see that, okay, it goes it will start going, and when it reaches its destination, let's see that actually it goes. Actually, let's follow it really fast. Okay, just going up the bridge, really beautiful bridge, down, and then to the station. And then when it reaches the station, it will do what it has to do, and then just boom, turns back and goes. That's a default behavior of trains in this game. So a train, when it has no other exit or no other way to go back to the next station in the itinerary, then it will just turn back in the same track, boom, turn back and start going the other way. That's really important to keep in mind for how we're going to for how our building, our like structure of tracks and network is going to be in the future, because of this behavior of trains. In general, trains have it will be the same behavior. Let's say if it runs out of fuel and it runs out of fuel here, it will calculate that the nearest fuel station is here, so it will just boom, turn around maybe and start going. So, even though for this I'm not really sure, I think they're doing like that. I haven't really noticed about it, but I suspect it's going like this. But, so now, we said about the rail track types, we said about the locomotive types and the different cars that you can carry. We also said how you can combine, let's say, different types of cargo and carry cargo with the same train safely, and making sure that your cargo is always, your cargo trains are always 100% loaded. So the next thing we're going to cover, since we have this really basic track, as you can imagine, it can accommodate one train. If I put another train in this line, at some point they're just going to meet with each other. They have no way to cross. So they were just going, they're going to create a lockup facing each other and not moving anywhere. And this is really easy to happen in this game. And when it happens, trains cannot do anything. You have to unsolve this. You have to solve this actually. You have to solve this problem. But the point of this tutorial and the objective of you as a player when you're making these networks of rails in this game is to allow your trains to flow without running into lockups. So you want a network that you're just going to build and you're just going to let it there, and you will not really have to maintain it and keep an eye all the time. But you will be sure, that it will be working and trains are just run through it flawlessly without just locking themselves up. So how we ensure this? First of all, we probably build multiple tracks, as you can imagine. But before the multiple tracks, a really important step is coming in the game, and this is called semaphores. Semaphores is quite a topic of questions. It's quite really hard topic for people who play this game, and it was really quite hard to grasp for me in the beginning as well, because semaphore in this game, they follow a block logic. That means that two semaphores placed sequentially one after another create one control block, and each semaphore controls the block after it. Okay, wow, you will tell me what does this mean, okay, so I'm not going to try to explain. I'm just going to put down some semaphores and try to show you what I mean. I'm sorry. So semaphores come in two types: a simple semaphore and a pre-signal or chain semaphore, as we call. So they have some differences, and I'm going to explain as I play. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to place, a semaphore. Let's say in this single track I have, I just want to place a semaphore here, okay, and see what will happen. So we have a single track with a simple semaphore. So as you can see, my train now is in the other side. So what this semaphore did is created block. One block is here, and one block is from this semaphore till the end of a rail track, because there is no other semaphore. So from my like depot till here is one block, and from here till the end of the track in the other way is another block. So now this semaphore is red because my train, this block, is occupied by this train, so it is red. But this is green because this block is unoccupied. You will see that as the train passes down, okay, it will stop because it's a new semaphore, so it has to calculate again stuff. But slowly, dum. This block turns red because this train occupies it now. This block turns green because the train just went out. So this is occupied, this is free. Simple, right? Not so. Because, like, in reality, you are not going to build a single track rail. What you're going to build is a multi-track rail, even if you have two trains. Unless you have only one train and you're planning to just stay with one train, then you will be able to just run it with one track. But if you want to put a second train or even more trains to it, you will want to use Semaphore to control your tracks. Okay. So, before elaborating more in the semaphores, I'm going to start building our network, because right now we just have a single track just running from the depot, going through the two stations, supporting one train, and that's it. So what are we going to do now is actually start building our network. And how we build our network, like there are like really two really efficient types to build a line between two stations, or 3 or 4, just to build, let's say, a network of like stations. So the first type, which is also the easier to start with and the most cost efficient, is called I would call it like the partial double track. Okay, so what means partial double track? Partial double track means that we rely on having a single track for most of the connection between our stations, but we calculate some points where we have a double track that is formed like a pocket in order to be able to allow trains to cross with each other and not block each other coming from opposite directions. And ideally those like pockets, those multi-tracks, should be placed with priority closer to stations, first of all, because usually station is a waiting point for trains, is like, let's say, a bottleneck in the network. And also if you have, let's say, if you're like starting, and if you want to give emphasis to be single, like in maybe somewhere in the middle of the track, in the middle of the route as well, so to allow the flow of the trains be better and faster. So what are we going to do now is build this multi-track, okay, this partial multi-track. And I want to emphasize, let me pause the game, I want to emphasize on building this close to stations, since this is one of the bottlenecks of the network. So what we're going to do is, like, now we have a single track. So what are we going to do is we're going to go, let's say, find a adequate distance from the station. So around here, build a branch that is continue going parallel with the station, then go like this here, build this, and what else we have to do is make a crossing to adequate distance from the station, like this. So what I created here is really simple. Okay, so it's just now there is like a clear entrance and exit to the station, and according to my plans, I want this part here to be the right side, this one here to be the entrance of the station, and this I want it to be the exit of the station. So to control this, because like if I leave it like that, the trains are not going to figure out anything. Probably they're just keep blocking each other. They just calculate, by default, they calculate the shortest route to the next station, and they're just following this route, and they don't care if the line is occupied after or before them or in the station. So they're just going to follow this route, and they're just going eventually block themselves. So to prevent this, we're going to do something really simple, and that's it: building semaphores. Okay, so what is going to do now? What is going to happen now is going to start with a simple semaphore. So since this I want to be the entrance to it, I'm going to build a semaphore with a single direction pointing towards the station. So it's clear that the trains should follow this direction if they're coming coming towards the station, and then build this semaphore here to make clear that the trains that they're like outgoing from the station are going to follow this direction, and just leave it like that. So if you see now my train, which is, I don't know where it is, still going there, but don't care. Let's follow again this train. By the way, really beautiful route we built there with that bridge. Bridges are beautiful in this game, and really useful as well. So we're going, choo-choo, choo-choo, and then you will see that as we're coming to the semaphore, the train's going to sense this in a way, and then just goes from the right direction. We need this crossing, okay? It's going to go to the left side. You see, that was a random move by the train. Somehow it figured out that this is the shortest route to the station, and just went there. Not really logical, not really normal, especially if this is not your final station and you expect traffic coming from this track, let's say, and outgoing this way. Right? Right. And also, what happens if you have two trains, let's say? That's a really good question, and we're going to find out right now. So let's say, okay, we want to guard this area here and this block as well. So we're just going to build another semaphore here. So not for our trains to collide, you know. And then we're going to make this schedule. Take the schedule of this train and put it in this one. And then start this train as well. So now we have, okay, it follows this, it sees that this is the route. So we have this exit and entrance to the station. But you will see that even with two trains, this is not going, even that it looks solid, it's not going to work with two trains, and for sure we're going to need more semaphores. And how we're going to need those semaphores, I'm not going to wait for the trains to pass now, but what we have to do is, besides guarding the entrance and the exit in our, like, let's say, multi-track of the station here, we have to guard the entrance and the exit of the actual station, which is this entrance and exit is defined also by any crossings you have, because what is a block for this game is whatever is after or before the semaphores. But if you have a crossing, you're actually connecting stuff. And now you will see a really paradoxical event here. You will see it right now, how we managed to block ourselves. So now we have two red semaphores. And technically, we just blocked ourselves. Okay, so now you will tell me, that's one of the paradoxes of the game, but it's not really paradoxical if you understand the mechanics. So now you will tell me, what is happening here? Like, this area here is free, right? This semaphore of this train is guarding this track, right? And this semaphore here is guarding the track in front of it. So this is correct to be red. But why this isn't green? And that's because the game has the block mechanics in Semaphore is working with the block mechanics in the semaphores. And that means that, as I told you, quite literally, what is after this right semaphore here is a block that the semaphore is guarding. So what is after the semaphore? It's this rail going straight to the station. But since we have connected these rails down here. So we have this junction and connection. Then the block extends. So the block is here till here. Then from this junction, it extends to here till the semaphore here. So, and also extends backwards till here. So technically what we have done here, we set to this semaphore to guard all this area where I'm moving my mouse now, all this double track, and see if it's blocked or no. So when you think like that, then yes, that is wrong, and that is really logical what is happening, because this area, this control area of the semaphore here is blocked by this blue train. Sounds quite simple, but how you solve it? Simply by placing more semaphores. Where? And creating more blocks. So where we place a semaphore, one semaphore must be placed in the right side, as the exit of our station is one block from us. And of course, we're not going to put it here, right? This is a correct way to put the semaphore, because we haven't separated this block. We still keep it as one block. So this semaphore is guarding all this block. The other semaphore from the other side is guarding all this block. So everything now is in a huge giant gridlock. Where are we going to put the semaphore is after this junction, this cross junction here. So we're going to put the semaphore here. And if you noticed, this semaphore immediately turned green. Why? Because now we have just limited this semaphore's responsibility to only this area here with the station until this area here. And we just said that, okay, for the rest of the exit, this semaphore is responsible now. So this is green because technically this area here is unblocked from the left track all the way to the station, and the other side of the station is unblocked. So if I start my game, it's going to take some time for the train, but boom, it started. And by passing here, by passing this block to this block, this block is relieved and this train is going. That's a really simple way of guarding those partial blocks. But as you can see, they have a major disadvantage when you simply place them close to station, is that since this train here is still traveling to the station, the whole area, the whole track till the other station, since it's considered one block because we don't have another semaphore guarding it, so this semaphore will keep on red till the other train comes back from its destination. And as you can see, this can dramatically delay your transport. So what you can do here, well, the simplest option is build another multi-track in the destination station. So you can just simply make another track, try to build it somehow. Actually, yes, we don't need that big. You can just simply make another double track. Okay. Follow the same logic. Make some cross junction where you can. So trains can change directions when they're going back. Not really perfect cross junction, but it will work. And then guard it with some simple one-way semaphores. And of course you see, because this semaphore is not enough and we are crossing junctions here. And just to prove you this, you know, like if I delete those junctions, you will see that the semaphore is going to turn green immediately. You see? Okay, so we're going to guard this area in the same way we guarded it before. And now we will see that since we built this block, the main track is relieved, and this train can also go. But as you can see, even that we have this double thing, still there can be delay times when this train finished unloading on finished its job and he wants to go back. Still, it will have to wait till this train arrives here. Okay, maybe we cut the time in half, but still it's a lot of time till the other train arrives here. It's not even at the bridge yet. So how we're going to solve this problem without having to build a full double line? So that is being solved simply by placing another multi-track junction or pocket, say it as you want, around the middle of the destination between the two stations you are connecting. So let's say around the middle probably is here a bit before the bridge. So here it's actually ideal place before the bridge. Let this train pass first of all. So let's say here we can just build another multi-track of a few meters, simply connect it like that, guard it the same way, decide that this side, let's say, is for outgoing and this is for incoming, and this for outgoing, not coming. And simply now what you have is an extra block for your trains to be able to cross each other. Let's see that they will start going. Yes. And you see that now much faster. By the time this train passes through, the other train is free to start also. And they can really easily cross directions. Let's hope that it will happen. That they can really easily cross directions. Okay, now they didn't, but they can really easily cross their directions and just simply go. Okay, so that's a really basic build. And that's it. So that's the most cost efficient, inexpensive way to connect two destinations, 3, 4, build your network in a way that doesn't cost too much and allows like a certain number of trains to pass through and work through it. However, even this type of building, type of like architecture, let's say, it has its limitations, and the limitations are simply posed by the fact that there somewhere in your network there will be a single track, and somewhere in your network there will be like trains, you know, waiting, and even worse, there will be maybe trains blocked in a single rail track, and maybe it can lead to a gridlock after a few trains, you know. So a really simple solution to it without having to spend a lot of money is if you are if you were like proactive enough to build really big pockets for your trains, and of course if you keep your trains within the like normal length for the pockets for the multi-tracks you build, a really cheap option to increase the capacity in your network is just break these multi-tracks sections into more blocks. That way more trains can wait at the same time in its direction, more trains can cross with each other, more trains can wait, let's say, in the station here if there are like more blocks. So this allows for a small increase in capacity and a really cheap way to momentarily increase the capacity of your network. However, this is not going to keep forever. If you want to keep adding trains, if you want to keep exporting goods, carrying passengers and stuff, at some point you will have to think of changing in a solid double line configuration. And however, before we go like to the solid double line configuration, or yes, we're going to solve immediately directly the double line configuration. So what's going to happen now? So now I'm going to show you how to build this solid line. As you can see, this like cross junctions here, even though they are cool, they allow trains to cross junctions, you see that they need additional guarding and additional care, because like they tend to connect blocks of tracks with each other. So you have to have like signals before them, signals after them, if you want to control them. Also here we're actually missing a semaphore here because we want this to be also a separate block, you know, so to allow trains to come here when this train is in the station, we want them to wait here. Anyway, so now to build a solid track, you have to figure a way to do it where in the most part of it, it should be like really actually separated track. Okay, so, and that's the most efficient way. So in our case, if we want to build a solid track in our network, we simply have to start from here. Keep going. Okay, it says crossing not allowed, probably because of the semaphore. Okay, keep it like that. We don't connect it anywhere. We simply keep going, keep going. We simply go, 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 go. And go like this, let's say. Is it actually a good idea to go like this? Probably it's a good idea to connect like this, and actually if I put this here, so it's better to have this pocket there, you know. Let me quickly replace the semaphores. Okay, let me really quickly also delete this track, because now that we have a solid double track, we don't need this section. Perfect. So now this area here is a solid double track network, and since it's a solid double track network, we don't need this connection here. Here, this is generated really ugly, so it's really ugly. So let's try to connect it again. We need a bit flattening here. Okay, sometimes flattening can be really terraforming can be really like tough. Okay, now probably we have to delete this part also, otherwise we will not be able to terraform efficiently. So what is the problem here? Let's check. Okay, they're not really straight. Maybe we have to lower this. No, because this will create a huger slope here. We just have to smoothen things out. Like this. I mean, if we smoothen the things out, this goes well. What about this? Goes well as well. Let's build it. Okay. Okay, guys. Perfect. I would like this connection also. So now this is a part of a solid double line network, and as you can see, okay, trains here are a bit confused. I don't know why. Probably they will solve things out. It's green dude, like you can go. Sometimes it takes some time for them to calculate. So now if you will see, you will understand that this part here will be working much faster. But it's also a good idea, since you have a solid double track, to again split it in blocks in order to allow for continuous flow in each side, so trains don't have to stop all the time. You see that now the trains are moving much faster, plus this type of track has much bigger capacity. But you will notice something. You will notice that all the time the trains are coming from the right side, but they always have the tendency to stop in the left side. What if you want to control this? And what if you want, let's say, this is our final station here. We don't have another station, so it's not a pass-through station. This station, it's simply, you just come in here, unload your stuff, then go back. Okay, so when I have like two trains, when I have one train, let's say, it's easy, it just comes and loads, blah blah blah. When I have two trains, For me, it's not efficient that the second train is going to wait here while this track is occupied, but this track is not occupied. Right? That's strange. That's really strange. So let's try something simple. Let's try to put like a simple semaphore here and point to them that, I don't know, maybe we cannot point to them that this is like, let's say, a two-way track, and we cannot point to them that this is one-way track, sorry, because like when they pass through here, they will not be able to come back. We cannot also, even if we put the two-way track semaphores, you will see that they will still going to ignore them. They will still be going to the left, and they will prefer going to the left. Where are they, I wonder? And they will still prefer to unload their stuff one by one. So you see, it's just for them a simple calculation, the fastest route. So it will go there. Plus we didn't block it really well, so we have to play, let's say, another semaphore here. Alright, to make this green. But this train comes. Okay, now we didn't manage to... Okay, wait. We will have to wait a bit, sorry. Okay, so let's make this train wait in the station. Let's say wait until loaded. Okay. And where is the other train? The other train is here. Let's wait for it. Okay, so it comes back. So you will see that when the other train comes back, okay, let's say now we have like, technically we have really well guarded our station. We have the semaphores everywhere. We have a small block here. So let's say we have like a way to allow our trains going to the station, right? Well, technically, yes. Technically, the other train should come from here, and the logic says it should go straight. It will see that this is red, and it will go straight, right? But when the train comes... Oh, it actually went. It actually went. Okay. That for me was a surprise, guys. That was amazing. Okay. It's good, probably they improved the way this is happening. Probably they just improved it. But... Oh my god, now, okay, that blocked me really, because like, I wanted to explain you about the chain semaphores, but I see that now they just did it. I mean, if we wait to see the train, this other train coming back. That's really strange. Okay, so it was an initial surprise that actually this is happening, the guarding is really happening really well just with the simple signals. I didn't know this before. I thought that for this we need chain signals, guys, and I wanted to explain you this, but still I'm going to explain you about chain signals, and what I'm going to explain you is how they work and why we need them over simple signals. As we can see, simple signals are like really efficiently controlling everything, okay, right? But not so much, because as you will see when my trains will come, is there another train here? Is the other train coming? Okay, so let's make this train wait in the station, okay? Okay, so this train is waiting. This signal is green. This signal is green. And as we see by itself, now they know how to calculate the correct way to go and the free spot. So they choose the free spot, and here it is. Okay. Free spot. Nice. Okay, but there is something that the simple signal cannot do. Simple signal is guarding the block directly, which is after him in its responsibility, but doesn't care about what happens in the next block. Okay, and you will tell me now why we need to care about what happens in the next block. Because as you can see here, my station now is occupied by two trains. Really correctly, even with a simple signal, the trains managed to calculate that, okay, since the left track is occupied, I'm going to go to the right track to unload my stuff, and I'm going to ignore the left track, so I'm not blocking anything. Correct. But this signal here is green, meaning that if there was a third train coming, then it would have the clearance, it would have the allowance to continue straight in either one of the directions. And if this would happen, you can imagine that when one of those trains would try to go back, this area here, this junction, would be blocked. Simple, right? And the simple solution to this is to say, okay, you know what? I want to really have a clear double track station, so I'm removing the junction. And that would work very well if the station would be a pass-through station. So let's say if we would have a station somewhere here in the middle where trains can just pass from one or other direction, and we don't really care to have the station completely full anyway, then we would say, okay, yes, that's like really good, like really great idea, you know, and just keep it like this. But this station is a turnaround station. It means that trains are going and they have to go back. So if we run more trains in this network, and this network, how we have built it, it has the capability to run more trains. You can run, let's say, 5 trains easily. So if we have another train in this network, it will create the gridlock that we're talking about, because this junction here, this block, is like really not guarding really well what is happening after it. And okay, let's say, should we remove these signals? No, it's wrong to remove the signals, because you want to guard the junction as well. So what is happening here? Their chain signals are coming into play. And what is the difference between a chain signal and a simple signal? In essence, it's that the chain signal is guarding what is happening in the next block after its responsibility. So a chain signal is going to guard what is happening in the exits of the block that it guards. So we just place the chain signals here, and you see that simple signal is green, chain signal is immediately red. Why? Because this chain signal has the mind to go to the exit of the block that is guarding and see that, okay, this exit is blocked because there is this train, this exit is blocked because there is this train. So I'm going to guard my block, and since there is no exit from it, I'm going to keep it clear till there is an available exit. So if we progress time and one train leaves, we will see that as soon as the train leaves, this signal turns into blue. Strange, right? Why blue and not green? Well, blue in the chain signals indicate that there are some blocked exits some blocked exits in the responsibility block that it has, meaning that this exit is free, but this exit is occupied. And it's not green but blue because, like, if a train doesn't care which exit to take, so if a train can take either exit, in our case, let's say a train that wants to unload in the station, it would take either exit. So the train would proceed to the free exit. But if a train wants to take a particular exit, let's say if the train had to necessarily go through this track for some reason, then the train have to wait in the blue signal. So that's the difference of the blue signal versus the green one. The green one, it means that the train will go, it's okay, fine, just go. Blue one means that the train will check, and if doesn't care about which exit to take, is going to take the next free exit. But if it has to take a particular exit, it is going to take that if this exit is blocked, and is going to stop and wait at the blue signal. One really clear difference to see to distinguish the chain signals from the simple signals is that chain signals have this double arrow in contrast with the simple signals that have the single arrow, just to recognize them easier. Okay, and you will see that if this train here leaves, so if we make our train to go, chain signal is going to turn into green, because now there are just 2 available exits, all trains can pass. So chain signals are a really effective way of guarding stations, guarding junctions, guarding everything you want and making sure that things are not going to clog. Wherever you want to make sure that you expect that at some point the exits of the block that you're building are going to be fully occupied and there are going to be other trains in line coming for it, then a chain signal can guard this really efficiently. So now we covered this part and we know that what is the difference between the simple signals and how to build a partially double track network, how to build a full solid double track network, and also how to build stations where they can accommodate as much trains as we want and be guarding it efficiently with avoiding grid loss. And indeed, if we just run this, and if we actually, just for the test of it, if we just put another train there, it's not so hard to put let's say another cargo train. Maybe just choose a different train like this from Soviet Union, wow, it's double. Just put some, I don't know, some cement. Maybe it's too long for the network we're building, so let's delete this. And have it do the same thing, Wow, too many stuff here. Have it operate in the same network. And of course put some guarding and some chain signals here as well. So let's say we put double sign here, a double here, and also a chain signal same way to guard this area here. You'll actually see that things are run really efficiently with 3 trains in the track and they're not going to clog. Even if I put 4 trains in the track, nothing is going to happen. Unfortunately, the game cannot speed up anymore to showcase this, but you see that trains are running efficiently. Okay, here is just the single track part just to showcase this. And it would actually make sense that, you have a bridge that's single track. And trains can run efficiently, and even if you add more trains, 4, 5 trains, this simple network that technically cost us, I don't know how much in construction. Can we check how much it cost us? I don't know. It's the year is okay this year, Oh, we cannot see because probably we don't buy. But this is really efficient. Really efficient. It's impossible not to see. I mean, we have to see somewhere in economy, right? How much we spent this year. Yeah, vehicles important, foreign manpower, and resources. So if we say with resources and vehicles and everything, it seems here around 1 million. Around 1 million rubles to build this really efficient. And it could be of course less if you buy less trains, cheaper trains, or if we would build, let's say, a wooden truck, if we didn't care so much about speed in the beginning. But with just around 1 million you can build this really efficient network that can support, actually not 1 million, because the vehicles here are costing, the vehicles here are costing 165. Oh, sorry. That was for the month. The vehicles are costing 686. So if we remove this, it's around 400, less than 400, 300 something. 320,000 maybe rubles to just build this network of 2 stations and really efficient lines and everything, and which can support a lot of trains, maybe 6 trains easily can be there, without clogging, making sure that you don't clog. So now that we covered this and we said now that the basic difference between the simple and the chain semaphores are the responsibility and what they're actually guarding, it's time to move to a bit more complex, elaborate, let's say, constructions around how to build stations to improve, let's say, the flow in the station, to improve the amount of traffic that they can handle, and maybe make them more beautiful, you know, and just not, let's say, have trains just really artificially boom turning around. So if, let's say, you don't want to have a station that is like simply, let's say, artificially is just turning around, you know, like this, the trains, you know, train comes and boom, train leaves, like that, and you want to make, let's say, something better, something more elaborate, then we're going to showcase this by building a new station in this area here. Okay, so 2 stations are not enough for us, so let's go down to construction again. Let's put another cargo station, this time, let's say in this area around here, somewhere here. That would be ideal. Yeah, that would be ideal. Okay, and let's say we like the double solid double track. This way I will be able to showcase two station cases, okay, that I'm interested in showing you. So let's build the track here. Okay, probably we have some troubles connecting. Yeah, we have big troubles connecting. Sometimes it can be a bit awkward. You just simply... Oh, I see. Okay, so sometimes you just have to destroy stuff, you know. So, okay, you don't want to connect. I'm gonna bulldoze you if you don't want to connect. So we're just going to connect the station in this solid double track configuration till here. And let's make sure that the other track is built as well. Till here. Perfecto. Okay, so what we have created, we just add another station in our network. So this station suddenly goes and qualifies as a pass-through station. What means is that this station, this like structure here, is a station that trains can actually go, stop, or go. So it really depends on the situation, but you may actually have a situation where you want some trains to stop in the station, but you may want some trains to just simply go. And one good solution to allow trains that they don't want to stop in the station unblock themselves, a really simple solution is have the chain signal, have both lines of the station to be of double direction. Make sure that you connect the station in both ways, like that. And make sure that also the other entrance of the station is guarded by a chain signal as well. Okay? Seems simple, right? And what you have to do, let's say if this train, okay, this train is going to have a final station here, but it's going to ignore this station. Okay? Okay, so of course now I don't even see where is this train. Sorry guys, but I just lost it. Where is this train? It's there and it's like really confused. Why? I mean, it's pretty clear what you have to do, right? No, it's not. For some reason this train doesn't want to do what he wants to do. I don't know what is happening. Like, I mean, there is like if we see the semaphores, there's like a clear way how to go from here. There is clear way how to go from here, and we could just simply let's say put some semaphores here. Huh? I don't know. This will help him. I don't know why it's so confusing for him. Where is the problem? It says that the problem is here. Why, dude? I mean, it's clear, right? What you have to do. Let's try to... Sometimes... Okay, they can get stuck. Nope. Sorry, that was the wrong semaphore. Where is this Baraharad cargo station? Yeah, it's there. So... what stops you from going? You see, sometimes it can be a bit difficult to make trains move. I don't understand. I mean... go there. Ah, he wanted to go back to the first station and he couldn't do it from here. Okay, so he's going there and the line was... is free. So he's just normally going to pass through everything. Blah, 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 blah. Passing through the station. Now it's clear. But... what will happen if one train wants to be there? If one train is there, you know, and waits. Why it's not waiting? Ah, because it's already unloaded. Maybe we have to make him load stuff. Okay, so to make him stop, you know. Because I really want him to go there. Okay, so he goes there, blah, blah, blah. And now he waits. And I want him to wait also. Has some problems? Anyway, go back, dude. I think now this is a bit fucked up, you know, maybe I should just let him go. Oh, it ran out of fuel. Oh, whoa. So why is not going to the nearest gas station? That's interesting. That's really interesting. So you should be able to go, let's say. You should be able to go, right? Okay, sometimes it can be difficult. Okay, let's remove this train actually. Bye. Quick solutions for our problem. So let's create this again with 2 boxcars. And let's make it, yes, let's make this train go through there until here. And start this. Aha, I see. So probably we made something wrong here that made this unreachable. Really? Of course, this is a single signal that shouldn't be here, first of all. Other than that, why it's unreachable? Sometimes it can be tough, you know, to see what is happening. Yeah, where is the problem exactly? What's the problem here? Points that the problem is here. View area where can an issue in this route. Dude, what is the issue? I mean, there is a single line going, and it's two-way lines here. So the mistake was that we actually took an electric locomotive and we're trying to go through the diesel line. That's what was happening, and that's why it was not letting us move this train. So I just changed the train and I'm going to put the stops. I guess like I didn't notice when I was purchasing the train that it was like an electric train. Anyway, so this is going to start. Don't really sell this. Okay, just going. A bit slow, but let's move it. Here also this guy doesn't know how to turn around, because probably somewhere there is a single line, right? Yes, here's a single line signal, and it's getting confused by this block. So okay, so let's make also junction here. No. So actually I don't want to make a junction here like that. Well, I wanted to show you the pass-through station and how it's going to work. But as you can see, like really now, if a train is coming through this way and he wants to pass through the station, there is a single exit. And if he comes from this, an available exit, and if he comes through this side is also an available exit. And the point is, with this pass-through station, you can simply use both sides at the same time and whichever direction you want to fill up the station all the times. That has its limitations though, because if you have like two trains loading and unloading stuff here, then a train that just simply wants to go through the station, it will have to wait. It will not block anything, but it will have to wait in the guarding points here or there till one of these exits are available for him to use. So the point with it is like, it's really good. It's a really cheap option. It's the most cost-efficient option to build a pass-through station, but there are other alternatives that I want to showcase to you. But before we showcase the alternative pass-through station, we just saw the simple one, and I just want to show you a different, or maybe we should build actually the different pass-through station. Yes. So okay, maybe actually we should focus on it. So what can happen here and what can change here is, well, I want this train to keep moving first of all. So let me build, for now let's just build a simple junction like this and like this. Then let me simply guard this with a chain signal. This with a simple one. Oops. This with a simple. This with a chain. Let me build everything here. And I think now the train, yes, will be able to find its way because now it has clear paths. Okay, so this train is available now as well. So what is going to happen now is going to see how we can build alternatively a bypass station. Okay, because pass-through station is a really efficient way to make like to allow trains to either stop or go through the station without blocking them like infinitely. But you can actually block them and stop their operation time, because if the station is filled, then the trains have to pass, have to like wait till an empty spot is there, so for them to go, unload or pass through. And the point is that if you will see, like you can think that, okay, maybe I can build a station with more rails. Like that's actually a really good way of thinking. But if you notice, except the train depot that has like 3 connections for rail, every other station, cargo station, even like the platforms for passengers, every other station has only 2 tracks, with the exceptions of border stations, the train stations that actually of some border stations. So the the stations that are located in the borders of the map. Let's find a border. They have the chance to have, let's say like here, their multi-track will say 3 tracks. So here you can connect maximum 3 tracks. So with this exception, for now at least, and with the current update of the game, there is no possibility for you and for me and for everyone who plays to build a train station that can accommodate more than 2 rails. So how we're going to make a workaround for this, and it's something that actually the devs of the game suggest as well, it's in their guide as well, it's to make a simple bypass of the station. And a simple bypass of the station means that we're going to consider this station like as that is going to be used only from the trains that they actually want to stop, and we're going to divert any other traffic away. And how we're going to do it, and let's say we have this double track here and we expect traffic for both directions. So how we're going to do it? Well, it's really simple. First, allow me to have this train pass, and for like proof of concept, you know, to see also that this is actually working really well, this simple pass through. And how we're going to do this now is this. Okay, this is too much noise. Bye-bye. So we're going to build 2 rail tracks. First of all, we're going to remove those signals for here for easiness in construction. So we're going to build 2 separate rail tracks. Of course, if the game cooperates with me right now. It really doesn't want you to build, you know, that they're going to go through the perimeter of the station like this, let's say. Okay, a bit ugly, not really straight, but you get the point, you know. They're going to go through the perimeter of the station and to its direction. So let's, okay, here I guess we have to terraform again or something, I don't know. Like if we build a track like this, like where? Wow, beautiful. Simply beautiful. Maybe we need to actually lower the terrain here. That would help. Not too much though, you know. Still, you know. You need to flatten. What should I flatten? Let me use the wireframe to see what is the point of bad alignment. Seems like it's here, but this will make it worse, you know. I'm really confused even with the wireframe, I don't know. Okay, oh wow. With a magical way we find a way to do it. Okay, so we're going to build a second track. Of course it doesn't go further than here. Needs more flattening. And further flattening down there. Maybe to make it a smooth slope, you know. So creating this smooth slope and trying to find the sweet spot to pass the train from. Come on, come on, come on. We're so close to it. We're so close. Yay. Yay, success. Okay, so still not straight, but you get the point, you know. I mean, feel free to make it more beautiful. Use your imagination, use your talent in building, you know. Okay, so let's move the time a bit, and of course we try to destroy road with the rail destroyer. It will not work, so let's take the road apart here. Let's close, let's stop the game a bit, and okay, let's try to make it as much symmetrical as we can. Okay, not the most symmetrical, not the most beautiful thing, but the idea is that you create this pass through, And so what happens here is that now this station can accommodate the traffic that is just passing through the station on the outer tracks and the traffic that wants to stop in the inner tracks. And okay, the trains are going to know if they want to stop or not depending on their like itinerary. So they are going to know where they want to go when they arrive here. So the point for us here is to create a chain signal to put a chain signal here, so to guard this junction here, and also to put a chain signal here to guard this junction here. And also what we're going to do is, since we are going to use these stations for passing through, do we want to let the double ends here? Maybe yes, you know, because we want to accommodate, let's say, all traffic. So let's say, right, or we just want to skip this. I mean, this can work out really well, yeah. And if we put like another chain, a simple signal here to mark the block, and a simple signal here to mark the other block. Okay. So now this chain signal, let's say, is guarding three things. Is guarding this block and this block here. Actually, that is quite wrong, because we need him not to guard this block. I mean, if a train passes after here, it's free to go, right? But how we build it now, it's almost impossible to put the train signal here. Almost, yay, come on. Yes, okay. Yep, I think so. And also maybe a signal here. Let's just simply here. Yes, I mean, instead of there, it's really awkward position. Just simply adjacent, and that's it. Actually, it's also here, so maybe this is redundant here. Okay, let's just leave it like that and see how it works. And let's just remove this signal also, because it's going to create confusion. Our trains are longer than this distance, so so traffic that wants to stop, as we say, is going to be accommodated from these rails, and traffic that wants to pass through is going to accommodate it by the outer rails. And let's see how this actually works in practice. Let's see, we are going to keep this stationary to pretend that this is something that is using the station. This is perfect, because we will see now that this train is going to come to the station. Okay, and we're going to say to him, wait until loaded as well. And we see that, it just went, you know, like from this, it passed through the blue signal, then it just finds the open spot there, and it just went and stays. And now the train that wants to pass through, it doesn't have to wait here for them to finish their work. It will simply go around and continue its job. And of course, everything isn't blocked for the trains that they want to turn back. So for example, if this train wants to turn back, it's free to go. Problem solved. I am really curious to see what the train will do if there is one open exit here. Is he going to go through the bypass? Yeah, he still prefers the bypass. Okay. Okay, it's pretty like clear how this operates, and you see that you can understand the efficiency of it. I mean, if you have a station that is a pass-through station, simply this way of laying down your track and just creating this simple bypass, that it's also not really costly, and just guarding this with a chain signal in the beginning of it can really work miracles and like help like the flow of the trains in your rail network, in the republic, in the empire you try to build. So now that we see how a pass-through station works and the bypassing station works, it's time to check some end station, some border station and some end station. And for now we're not connected to any border station, but we have this end station, this new end station here. And I really needed this station to showcase a different way of constructing a track for allowing your trains to turn around, because there is this simple way of turning around. So the train comes here, does its stuff, then boom, turns around and just goes away. It's nice, it's efficient. However, it needs this additional guarding, especially if you have like crossing or cross blocks here, you know, and stuff. So there is like a much simpler way, even though it requires probably a bit more of like rail. There is a much more simpler way to make a turn around and station, and that's by simply like, I'm going to delete those like semaphores. We're going to do it now. I'm going to delete this semaphore here and this for now, and I'm just going to delete also these tracks here, and quite possibly yeah. So I'm just going to keep doing it. So I'm going to put a single junction here. Maybe it's too close the stations, but our trains are small for now. Okay. Anyway, not electrified line, dude. Oh, come on. I cannot pick the correct one. Okay, here. Okay. So we need a single junction like that. And what else we need is we need to remove this rail here. Okay. Actually, let's remove this rail also. Sorry. It's a bit awkward, but we have to remove this rail here. So we're going to build like this. I'm sorry, guys. And we're going to make a roundabout, double roundabout, which is going to go blah 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 like this and like that. That's not really efficient what I did there. Let me build this really fast. Okay, let me unbuild this. Boom, guys, and actually my game crashed. I was trying to build this station here and my game just crashed. Despite the recent updates and despite the fact that the game is improving by every update, I still find it rather unstable sometimes. You know, it can have these unexpected crashes, and unfortunately, I had to go through all over, and I didn't save the map. I was showcasing everything to you guys, and unfortunately, I had to do it all over again. So technically, it's the same thing we were building here all the time. I just had to go through it and just build it over again. However, I didn't build it identical, you know, I didn't build it identical as it was before. So for you guys, since if you're here, like if you reach till here, if you have stayed with me like almost 2 hours, I can say, of tutorial, like a small game for you guys, like write me in the comments, you know, like spot the differences. Spot the differences, what changed, you know, after my crash. Please write me in the comments down below. It will be funny to see if you're actually like, you know, noticing stuff, if you can pay attention to things. Of course, you can rewind back, you know, and see what happened. I challenge you not to rewind and try to find the differences of my build now and what has changed since before. And of course, don't mention the obvious difference, right? That January 23, 1970 is the date is different, like, of course, because like I started a new game. Anyway. So not losing any more time, but straight back to tutorial. Where we were left before my game crashed was here. I was trying to showcase to you guys how to make a different end station, and instead of the simple turn back station that the trains are just coming back, to how to make a like cycle back station. So I had already started building stuff, so I had removed the semaphores from here. Okay, and I was showcasing you that, for example, you can turn around. So instead of just having this station that is controlled here and it has a junction and blah blah blah, the classic one. So the classic end station, like here. So instead of doing this, so what you're doing is actually you just remove one junction. Okay, so you are just going to turn around here, and I was also thinking that we have to remove a bit of train line from here, and make it like a double line like this here till here, let's say. Okay, then just connect here, then just do like this, which is actually not good. I learned my lesson, guys, because you know I didn't save the map from before. I was not saving the map. This time is saved. I created a save for this map, and yeah, at least, you know, if it crashes again, if this instability continues, you know, at least I will not have to build everything again to continue my videos and my tutorials, guys, so you saw. Okay, so let's keep it straight like here and connect it actually here. It will not connect. Okay, guys, let's connect straight here, and that's it. Let's build this. Let's hope this time will build. And yay, no crash this time. So what we managed to do, I hear a train coming. I hear trains coming. Okay, trains coming. Okay, so what we managed to do here is actually we made a nice loop around the station, and since we consider this as an end station and we just don't want like our trains to boop hop back and just continue in the same track, so we just built this, and with a really simple way, we're just going to place 2 guarding signals here, which are going to be one way. So we are not going to allow our train, because if we just put these single way signals like that, even if we have the loop around, okay, if we put a single, let's see how the train will behave. It's really interesting to showcase the behavior of the train, which is really confused now. Where is it? Okay, so if we put signals like that, the train will come, la la la, tra la la, choo choo choo, choo choo choo. It will stop, and of course, the shortest route for this train is to just go back. Oh no! Oh, just use the loop. Okay. Oh. Wow. Amazing. Okay. So we can just put the double signals as well. So the train will just continue on the loop. Okay. So, okay. I was thinking that if we put the double signals, the train will simply start going back. But it didn't. So that's good. Anyway, to be more consistent with our design, let's make this like single. So in order to showcase that these are supposed to be going like only for incoming trains. Also, we need 2 signals here to guard the place, the junction here. I cannot place semaphore in that place for some reason. That's interesting. Really interesting. Anyway, I will place a semaphore there and here. And actually, let's guard to create another block. Let's see, this is the waiting block, this is the station block, and of course, if we just put a simple signal here, it will not allow for maximum functionality. What we need here is a chain signal in order to allow for 2 trains at the same time to come, and even if this line is occupied, the chain signal is going to take into account that there is a second exit that the train can use. And in that way, we have built a really simple turnaround station. And actually, now I can showcase this if we have 2 trains. So I will make this train to just load in the station in order for it to wait. And let me make this train load. This is from the crash. One difference. Okay, don't write about this difference, right? I just found it. So it is. Let's make another station, another train, really fast, really fast. Let's take this, and I want to make them different so they can, you know, like this, you know. So this train will be going also from here. It doesn't have to stop here, but we need 2 stations at least. Okay, let this train, just for the variation of it, you know, just for the variety, to have some variety, to go from this station down there. It's hard to see probably. To end this station. Let it start. Let it go. Let it go. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Well, frozen, guys. How this came to my mind. Okay, we see I recreated this as well. We see that this is working. Probably we would need a chain signal here as well in order to guard this area here. Maybe we need a chain signal here to make it more efficient, you know. Anyways. I like to complicate things, you know. Let's also, we forgot to build a simple junction here. Can we build it like that? Like really simple. And make another signal here. I think this will work. Right? Maybe. Probably. Okay, this is stopping there for testing purposes. I hope the other trains will come. This is the old train I already had. This train is going to operate between the other lines. Where is this train going? I wonder. Okay, it's going to loop around there. That's really not efficient. And now this is blocked. But okay. Interesting that they're looping like that, you know. I mean, what we can do to force them, how we can make them not loop like that. That would be also a really interesting case to see how we can solve the situation here, because now we see we blocked the trains here. Everything is blocked. Because we don't have enough signals, so we have to put more signals to create more blocks to relieve the trains. Okay, anyway. And we could also put a signal like this here and one like this here. So we'll see that now, okay, to focus on what we built right now, we'll see that now this works, trains are coming in, this guy is waiting, and of course the other train will come in and will loop its way. If we find it, here it is. However, there is a really interesting behavior of trains that they want to turn back from the middle station, that they come till here to loop. That's really interesting. But anyway, we'll see that it comes here, blah, 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 does its stuff. Then it leaves normally. It's a really efficient way and really nice, beautiful way to create end stations. And it really helps you control the flow of traffic. But here we could eliminate this behavior simply by saying that I don't know what we have to say. Yeah, this was not supposed to be used as a pass-through station, you know. That's the point of it. Okay, that complicated things anyway, but it's a really interesting behavior that this train has to go all the way there. So, you see, sometimes you cannot really mix stuff around. So, let's say we don't want to use, like, you have to be very careful how to design. Okay, we don't want to, this should remain a pass-through station. So, this is going to go to the station over there. And that's it. And just delete the station and just go here, and that's it. Okay. Beautiful trains, really. A really efficient way to control this. What about this train? I wonder, will it keep doing the same thing? Yes, of course. We're going to designate that this signal has only this direction, you know, and that's it. The only way to go back is from there, and simple as that, we solve the problem. It works in station from that side, doesn't work from the other side as well. It would work, but it would need additional controlling of those passages. Anyway, guys, so that's, as I told you, a really good way of making this like a cycle around, cycle back type of end station. And we have not till now covered like regarding station, how to create a pass-through station, how to bypass a station instead of simply creating a pass-through station, and we also saw how like the end stations can be like turn back stations, and also how they can be like cycle back stations like the one we built here. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to see the border stations, and that's something we haven't seen, and it's a really important part. It's like really important aspect, because like actually when you will want to export something, you will want to use a border station. And let me find a border station nearby that we could actually I mean, there is nothing nearby, but I would really love to show you a border station with a lot of lines. For example, this border station is small, it just has like one rail. I think this border station in Padonin. In Padonin, I think there are like 3 rails. So we're going to create something closer here. Okay, so really fast, I'm going to plop down like a train depot again. Let's make a different, smaller system just to showcase you this. Okay, then we will need for sure some like refueling material. And then again, we need a cargo station. Hypothetically, cargo station full of cargo. Let's start building here. Come on, be beautiful, like this, and like this, and make like this, and like this. And let's connect it to Padonin. Let's reach an area around here, and let's stop it here. So as we can see, Padonin has like 3 rails, and you're going to find yourself like to stumble upon those stations, those border stations, that they will have like, let's say, 3 rails. Okay, so what is going to happen now is I'm going to show you a way to build like, okay, the basic way that like a border station is used is like simply if you just allow your trains, you know, you just come in and then just the train turns back and you just go back, and like with this way, like you can really build a train station that as we built before, and then you can build it in a way that it's an end station, the classic end station, that the train just boom goes back, you know, in the same rail, makes across the junction, you know, and just continues on its way. So, but there is another way to build these rails in the border stations. For sure, you cannot cycle back. You cannot build over here. Even if I try to do, the game is not going to let me build something outside my borders. So you have to, there is another efficient way to allow a lot of trains unload and go back at the same time in a border station, and that's by building multi-tracks. And that's where it's another place where the like chain semaphores, our chain semaphores are proving their worth, you know, and are really useful to work with. So how we can build this multi-station? So I'm going, first of all, we're going to need to, for maximum efficiency, we will need to use all 3 lines of the border station. So we're going to extend those lines. Wow, really strange extensions and really strange build. I mean, like, he doesn't want to build straight even for a few meters. Anyway, okay. Wow. Why they're just pointing like that? Anyway, so let's say we have this line here. Let's say it's a solid double line that's coming to the station. But okay, station is like here. So how are we going to build this multiple line station? So the fact is that we're going to extend all the lines till a certain point. This point, as with everything in your rail network, it is relevant. It is relative to the size of trains, the length of trains that you're going to use. If you're planning to use, it's like, I didn't tell you this till now, but you know, it's like logical that, as we said about that, this rail network has certain capacities. It's also, they have certain limitations, because, like, you know, if I'm about to build like a huge locomotive, like, you know, I just start buying wagons, you know, and just make something long like this, it's logical that if I put my semaphores too close enough and my stations, like, you know, close enough, then the trains are going to clog, because simply the like blocks that I'm going to create with my semaphores are not going to fit the train. So of course your trains should always fit the block of rails that you're building. So now we have these 3 rails here, which can, depending on what we want to do, we could either expand it, or we can either keep it the same. So to showcase the first part is, let's keep the same, so from 3. Okay, and how we're going to do this is we're going to start merging them, and we're going to merge them like here. This one can be connected here. This one can be connected here. And this one can continue straight like this. Let's see, will they be built? I wonder if it will work. Probably it will work. Okay, so the point is this. So now we built this multi-station, which of course can have variations. You can put junction in it, and of course we have to put junction to here, junction here, and also junction. Actually, yes, I'm thinking that, yes, the most efficient way to do it is that if all of them are like double directions, okay? So another junction should be here and here. Let's build those. Okay. Yeah. And maybe this can also go here, you know. Wow, that's really ugly. No, that's bad. That's bad. But what we could do is like change a bit this here and do like this to have like, you know, continuity. And also like, yeah, something like that. Like there. Okay, and of course we're going to guard this with chain signal. So if we put a chain signal here and then simply put like two-way signals here and here and here, okay, then simple enough, we just create it. And of course, if we allow for more space here, so we have like our are some more like chain signals. Let's say another guarding chain signal here, you know, to guard these two areas. And we could even avoid this, you know, like, I mean, we could even like deconstruct those areas here. Let's go for the simplest build, okay? So let's deconstruct this area. So now everything is connected through here, okay? And however, I don't see how this can go from the other side, so probably it would be ideal to have like this, you know, something like that, even though it's too late to do it. Okay, it will look ugly, but something like this probably it can work. So something like that, you know, so this chain signal here is guarding the whole area here. And of course, maybe if you want to increase the capacity, you just put another weighting, but this you'll have to make junction, so you just leave it as it is, you know. So then you just have like at the same time there can be like three trains coming here, loading and unloading stuff, you know. And to see if this works, if this actually works in reality, then I'm going to buy some more locomotives here. Okay, put them like this, like that, and start them and see what will happen. Wow, okay. So let's copy the schedule to the other locomotives. They will have to refuel for sure. Again, let's build like some basic like cross sections here, some junctions, you know, with chain signals in the entrance to guard the junctions, and double way signals somewhere here. And maybe even double way signals somewhere here. Another double junction here. And of course, exit signal and entrance chain signal. I'm simply messing around with chain signals right now. And probably we will need, because these are coming from here. Let's start them all over. Okay, this is going back and forth. Oh, we don't have electricity. Okay. Easy to bring electricity here because the cables are already there. Okay, we're losing a bit of time here, you know, but... but it's okay, guys. I mean, I really wanted to make a complete guide, you know, of how things work, and really like to get to know how things are working with the trains. Requires a lot of time. Okay. Okay, and I will build this somewhere close to here to bring electricity. Sweet spot again, like that, maybe. Take a cable from here. Okay. And we have power, guys. So this is going to refuel. Wow, it takes a lot of fuel. So we will see how this multi-station is going to work. And if I build it correctly, it looks a bit ugly here, but I think it's really efficient and it will be working, you know. It will be able to support 3 trains at the same time. And of course, if I wanted to maximize this, I would make, you know, like again 3 rails, but then I would place some semaphores. I would place some semaphores in the middle. Let's say here and here to double the capacity. And I would actually ideally do this, you know, like with chain semaphores here. And then I would just enforce those semaphores here, in order for them to guard these exits. And if there is, you know, no train there to allow them to come, and maybe, you know, make some like junctions here for them to change and stuff. Okay, where are my trains again? Why they're not coming here? Come on, guys. This is completely stuck and not getting fuel. Okay. There is some bug probably here, so probably I should just send this back to my depot. Go back. No? Okay, so probably the best way is to do like this, and this I want to send it back to the depot. It's not moving. Okay. What if this starts? Okay, and then let's buy another diesel loco and put some cars to it. Copy the schedule to it. This left is going already. Bye bye. So time for this to start, right? And we'll make it wait in the custom house. Okay, yes, it was a small bug. It was not loading fuel. And let's start the other one also. And let's see what will happen now. We see like 3 trains at the same time. Can take advantage and just like load and load stuff in the same station. And of course with the guarding signals, with like chain signal here and probably chain signals here, we just guard that the train that comes will have like an available exit to go. And probably these signals here are redundant, and we can just simply replace this with simple signals. But okay, as I told you, like this is like of like limited capacity and you just accommodate 3 trains at a time. What if we wanted, let's say, to have more trains in this multi-platform station? Then it would be simple. Okay, so for example here you see, okay, you see I changed the signals here. I changed the guard signals here, the chain signals here, and immediately the train went to the wrong place, you know. Even though I see that they're all green, you know, and it's really interesting why. It's also probably a small bug. Like, it cannot be that everything is green here, you know. Probably because I changed the signals, you know. And they're not taken into account. Yeah, and of course this guy here doesn't have any way to go to his area here, so we have to create something like that for him also. So a multi-junction like this looks messy but works. Yeah, now the signals work normally. Anyway, okay, so let's not lose more time. So what we would do if we wanted to expand this area with like more tracks here, and that's something that I'm going to show you right now, just waiting for my trains to go. Let me hold this there so no train is moving. And so what we would going to do, it would be much simpler than what we have now. I'm going to delete everything here. Come on, guys. Okay, I will just have to click, you know, till everything is destroyed. Go there. Even more. Okay. And this time, for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to connect this to a single line. So from here, we could immediately expand this whole area. Okay, and we could create something like, you know, like more branches like this. You know, we can go from here and then we can create like a straight line like this, which also branches out, you know. Its line can bring branching out in many ways. This can be going like that. We'll create another branch for this line here. And then we could also bring this here and also create another branch for this line here. Okay, this branch will be almost perfect. Oh my god, I lost this perfection. Oh, okay, I want to do it like this. Yeah, okay, and then like here, like here, this. So you see, immediately we create a multiple line, double 6 lines out of 3. And again, this way with like some properly placed signals. Let me delete this line here. Okay, we're deleting this, we're deleting this. And again, this line could come down, let's say, to 1 line, you know, like from here I have to find the right track. Okay, like here. Boom, number 2, guys. The game unfortunately didn't want to cooperate and I had another crash, but I managed to make really fast the double multi-track here in the station, as I told you, with the 6 lines. So as I told you, you can see here how it is made, and I actually missing some semaphores like here, and now we need a similar one here and some semaphores here and here. So now you can see how I can, like, I actually managed to double the capacity of the station. So now it has like 6 tracks, and there's this waiting area here, these waiting blocks here where the trains can enter, and if a train unloads, another train can wait here. So there like can be like at the same time 3 trains unloading, 3 trains waiting to exit, and also at the same time to enter, and also this station has also 3 exits. It works quite efficiently, and also the secret in it is that where you place your chain signals, and you have to place like 3 chain signals in the beginning of it so they can guard your exit and entrance to the station. And also you have to place chain signal here so it can, you know, like correctly understand what is happening. And actually the easiest way to do it would be to remove those signals here and just let this chain signal here decide if there is like free entrance, you know, like for the trains to come and go. And of course simply the other signals need to just be simple signals, and that's it. And you have like a multi-station, like a multi-rail station where it can accommodate a lot of trains at the same time, and just can connect back to single line, double line, or whatever you want. So like unfortunately this video is going too long. For sure we're past the 2-hour mark, guys. I told you it would be long from the beginning because I wanted to be as complete guide as possible, and till now we have talked about a lot of stuff, but one thing we haven't talked yet is about junctions. And when I'm talking junctions, I'm talking about not the opposite way junctions that trains coming from other sides, from opposite sides, are crossing each other, but I am talking about, I will save the game again, sorry, because like I'm afraid it will crash again probably. About junctions that connect to other ways. So for example, a junction that, let's say from here, and we want to build, let's say, a train to that direction here. So let's say we had hypothetically another station somewhere not very far this time, like here. I could even build this junction somewhere here actually, like here. So okay, so we have like hypothetically another station here, and we want to divert the traffic towards it. Nice, station is giving me a hard time now. Let's say here, okay, yes, enough. So how we're going to build a junction, you know, and we want to use this network, this main rail network here. So how are we going to build a junction? And there is like a really simple way to build a 3-way junction, and that way is just, and by 3-way I mean like a junction that will allow trains to go like to 3 directions, like this side, to the back, and also from this side as well. And that can be achieved with double track, of course, if you want to have the most efficient junction of all. So let's bring some track till here. And what is going to happen now is I'm going to, okay, let me put my trains to sleep. I guess that's it. Okay. Let me put my trains to sleep. Like, okay, let's just wait to the station. They don't necessarily have to sleep. So, okay. So how we're going to build it is we're going to connect this part here. It's going to reach till here, let's say. So we need to have a good, like, around 90 degrees. Let's say vertical, like crossing here. Oh, I hear a train coming. Why? And how we're going to do it is we're just going to like connect its side. Like this. And like this, beautifully, and from this side like this, and like it will be a bit ugly. No, okay, it will be beautiful. Oh wow, this train just like teleported through the junction, didn't like it. Okay, and this is a really simple 3-way junction like that. So towards all directions, all trains from all directions can go wherever they want from this junction. So trains coming from here can go right, left, or right. Trains coming from this side can go left or straight. right or straight, and etc. So the point is how we control this junction. Again, it's a really simple matter if we use the correct signals, and we're going to put like those chain signals, okay, in the entrances of the junction. So this junction had 3 entrances, one from each side. This is an entrance, this is an entrance, and this is an entrance. So we have to consider this junction as a big block. So the entrances to this block are going to be guarded by chain signals, and the exits of the block are going to be guarded by simple signals, and that is going to allow us to guard this junction really efficiently. And if we actually put like a train to do this, we will see that this junction is guarded efficiently, but it would be better to simply allow you to watch this. Is this train going to go there? I don't know. Maybe no. Maybe let's add the station to this train as well. Let's add the station. Okay. And let's move the station as well. This train, sorry, as well from the station. And see what will happen. So you will see this train arrives really slowly. Everything is green. You see immediately those chain signals are turned into red. And now the signal is blue. And that's the secret to it. I mean, the point with the chain signal in the entrance, we could just have simple signals here, but if for some reason, let's say this train was blocked in that part of the rail, then this simple signal would be green, allowing a train to pass through, and if that train wanted to turn here to the right, it would be just clogging the junction. But with the chain signals, we make sure that if a train wants to go to the right side at the same time that this block is like occupied, then the train is going to remain here, allowing the junction to be free for trains that, for example, they want to go to the right or they just want to pass through. In this case, this train wants to go straight, so it will just simply go straight, continue to its road, and that's it. So that's a really simple 3-way junction that we can make, and it's really easily guarded, really efficient. And of course there is another way to maximize the capacity in it, and as you can imagine is by splitting blocks. So if we split the blocks here and we add more signals here, and of course now I'm not going to build it to save some time because already this tutorial is taking a lot of time. So like if I put the signals like that, so immediately, instantly, I'm just doubling the capacity of this rail, of this junction, I'm sorry. So of course it would need a bit more space to operate like this, but immediately it would be allowing double amount of like trains to operate in the junction. Okay guys, so that was it with the 3-way junctions as well. And of course, like a similar way to like control cross junctions, this time I'm not going to put any train down, but let's say if we have a double railway here that wants to cross another railway like this, so that's a 4-way junction. Okay, so a 4-way junction, like actually it's not a 4-way junction because it's not allowing trains to go to 4 directions, it's just like 2 different directions crossing each other. So this would be really easy again to control, but this time only thing we would need is just simple signals and just consider this junction as a single block, and that would be it. Since no trains are intervening in each of the directions, so these directions are like independent, these 2 rails, we could just consider this a whole block as with all junctions and all like crossings, and just control it just with those signals and be really efficient with it. Of course, then it would be more complicated if we start making multi-directions or 4-way directions junctions, but this will take some time. I could for sure make another tutorial to see you like to go into more like about architecture of Rails, but I think it's already going too far with this tutorial. And so I would really, right now, I would like to show you an example of what I have built and how we can improve it, an actual example of a map I actually played with. Okay guys, so I'm going to show you this very fast and we're going to end this tutorial very soon. So in this map here, it's a map that I used to play before. It's a bit dark now, so I just wanted to showcase to you different types of rail network that I combined together, but of course I was lacking the knowledge to improve it at that point, and of course it's not perfect, it needs like improvements. So if we allow for day to come here and find my city here, you will see that, for example, I have a train depot here that is going, it's feeding trains to both directions. Then I have like some trains, you know, like I have industrial area here that produces ores and stuff. So there are like trains that start here. Let's say, for example, this train is carrying clothes, and there is another train station here for like I think like coal and stuff, and this is like a passenger line over here that transport passengers. So I have kind of do like basic like stuff, and like for example I have like a double rail for passenger, but it's not really efficient because I haven't used a lot of chain signals at all. And also I have here these rails that they're connecting. For example, from this station there are like 3, you see, lines, 2 entrances and 1 exit to the station, and they're connecting like that, and they are like simply used, you know, like for my like coal, for trains like transporting coal. Then here there is a split, there is a train going from that direction, and as you can see here I have used this architecture of just simple like partial double line because this line is really long. So I just made those pockets and let this long line, you see, as it runs around, it runs till it goes. It basically runs a lot through the map, carrying like some goods from a factory that I wanted still here. And you see this is operated by 1 or 2 trains maximum, so there was no need to build additional lines. And the main hub, let's say, of trains are coming was here, the main like part of a lot of, let's say, trains coming here. And then there is another bypass around the city where like my transport trains can go, and it connects, if you see here, by the beach, by the shore of the river. Then it makes another multiple connection here, some, you know, to connect to the depot, then bypassing here this station, which is for loading and unloading, which is also can be made more efficiently if I would use chain signals. A big 3-way intersection here controlled by like signals here and here. Another like branch here for my electrical factory, and the connection to the border, which in this case is really simple, and I haven't used the 3rd line here. It's like a really simple like border connection. And of course I could do this more efficiently, but as you see, like I use longer trains here, and I want my rails to be able to handle these longer trains, you know. And also if we go to this area here where this is my main area of producing, let's say, fuel and bitumen and stuff, here also there are like only like cargo trains that they operate, and it's not really visible here because they're like, I have put a lot of trees, but again this is a partial double track where it's mostly like a single line of track, then just separated, you know, by this, interrupted by these pockets for trains, and it allows trains, you know, to go through. And if we go to this station here, again there's just this simple like 2-track station, you know, like to allow trains to load and unload while they're waiting here. However, this can be improved. For example, I could put some like, let's say, here, let's say some chain signals somewhere here, because here there is another branch and I would like to control this 3-way junction here better. This is a 3-way junction, and I would like to put some chain signals maybe here as well to control these junctions here. And there would be a lot of improvements, let's say, if I would make like combinations of like trains, like, because if you see now, each train is specialized, each train is just carrying certain stuff. So if I would combine the cargo trains, and I would just put some architecture, you know, on it, on the stations, and how they just turn back, because for example all the stations are simple turn back stations with some waiting space if 2 or 3 trains are operating in them, then this would improve a lot my efficiency with the trains, and the time it takes, you know, for it to reach a station, you know, to reach a border station and produce all the and export the cargo. So guys, probably we have to close this video with a beautiful view of trains just like that or something, you know. So guys, fortunately that's the end of this like guide, of this tutorial. I tried to make it as complete as I could. I saw that, as I told you, community has really nice videos about this game. I've seen already some guides out there about either it's about how to build stations, it's about how to place some semaphores. I wanted to have something complete. I wanted to have something that it's all in one, everything is one video. Maybe some people will find this tiring, maybe they will not like it. However, I will put under this video in the comments, I'm going to pin and comment where I'm going to put this like timestamps in the video with the various parts of it. So it will be easier for you maybe to navigate through this big guide whenever you need it and see, you know, let's say different types, how to build a junction, how to make the different types of like station architecture, about the semaphores and stuff. And I hope you just enjoyed this guide, guys. I'm planning to make some more tutorials about the basic mechanics of the game. I would like, if you reach still here and you watch all the video, like, thank you very much for watching, thank you for being with me and for being in another video in this channel, in Everyday Normal Greek channel with me. And guys, I hope, if you have any suggestions, if you feel that this guide missed something, please write me also in the comments about it, and I will try maybe to make more comprehensive a second part, let's say, of this guide. So if you want some game mechanics that feel that for sure you want to be covered, also just write me down in the comments and I will try to also make a guide about it. If you like the guide, please hit the like button. Please support me by subscribing to the channel. Hit the subscribe button and hit the bell button to get the notifications about my new videos. And I think that's it, guys. Here we are. And I am Stamatis, you were in Everyday Normal Greek channel, and I will see you next time, guys. Bye.